Hey guys, this is Hein and today I will unbox all these cubes, so stay tuned. Before we start, I just want to clarify a couple of things. Yes, I have opened all these cubes and I have tested each of one of them so that my opinions can be better grounded than just my initial thoughts about the cubes. The order of these cubes are determined by how much impressed I am with them, going from the worst to the best cube. I ordered these cubes from a local shop, speedcubes.co.za, because I live in South Africa, so if you're on South Africa, definitely use this website. I will do reviews in the future time, but for now it's just unboxing. So let's start with the first cube. The first cube is the 3x3 18cm jumbo size. And yes, this cube is quite trivial but to this unboxing, but the only reason I bought this cube is for novelty's purposes. There we go. And if you want to buy this cube for it to turn good, then don't buy it, because this cube turns horribly. Look at that. Yeah, it's so loud as well. This cube is massive, this cube is awesome. I just bought it so it looked cool in my room. But yeah, really you don't have to, you shouldn't buy this if you want to turn it about, but if you want to increase your coolness, if you can say like that, in your room, definitely buy this cube. Now let's start with the important cubes. The least impressive cube from the bunch was the Valk 4M. I'm really impressed with the boxes of the Valk 4 and 5N, but of course that doesn't really matter. I really also like this case, but of course if you don't care about the novelty purposes, you won't really care about that, but it's just so beautiful. And in here we get some springs, and in this box you get some cards and a towel. So the towel I'll probably use to clean my cubes, and as you can see, here's just pictures of the cube, and with Matt's Valk, yes, Matt's Valk. Okay, so these things aren't really important, just put that aside, and let's start talking about the cube. So, this cube is quite unstable, and you hardly even feel the magnets. If you go like this, you can feel them, but it's so weak. The inner layers are better, but it's still really weak. I think much stronger magnets would have done really great with this cube. So yeah, the cube is quite unstable, and this is such a shame because the Valk 3 and the Valk 5 are amazing cubes. So I don't know where it went wrong with this one. The main competitors for this cube is the QiYi Valk and the Aoshi Gtsm. And I have tried both of them, and both of them are much better than this cube. As you can see there, it's not bad. It does lock up a lot, but really I do not like this cube. So the previous main cube that I had, my previous main was the Gan 4x4, and honestly this cube is horrendous. Really, you shouldn't buy this cube. The 3x3 stage is alright, not too bad, but the inner layers are horrible. I mean, just look at that. Just look at that. Absolutely horrendous. So yeah, this cube inner layers are better than the Gan, but the outer layers, I feel like the Gan outer layers are quite good. So I feel like the Gan outer layers are better than the Valk outer layers. But still, this cube is much better than that cube. So this is just quite a shame. I really was expecting more than this. And as you can see, the inside is white. I don't know if I really like that. I think I prefer still the black interior, like this. But yeah, overall I'm quite disappointed. It's not bad, but it could be definitely better. Let's just look at corner cutting. As you can see here, corner cutting is less than even one cuboid. So that's really not good. And reverse corner cutting, let's see, one cuboid, yeah, it struggles. Less than one cuboid, it struggles. Even here, it struggles, like just like that. If you can see it right there, it struggles right there, even less than one cuboid. So really not impressed at all. But this cube is really bad, but the Valk 5 really makes up for it. So yeah, overall, if you have money, I would rather recommend you buy the Aoshi Gtsm or the QiYi Valk, depending on what you like, rather than this cube. And also, do not buy this cube. It's way overpriced and not good at all. And initially, while using this cube, my times went down a bit, but not really that much. So it's definitely better than the Gan, but still I would recommend the QiYi Valk and the Aoshi Gtsm. The next cube is the 7x7x7 Moyu Aoshi Meilong. And I must say, for the price I'm quite impressed. This is about 275 Rand, which is about $18. And of course this cube isn't great considering the budget, but for a budget cube I really like this cube. My previous main was the Z Cloud, and this cube is awful, so horrendous, because it's so stiff, you hardly can turn the inner layers, it can barely corner cut, so it was just bad. And the reason I have to buy a budget cube is because the local shop that I use really doesn't have a big variety of 7x7s, so this is the best I can get. So overall, if you want a cheap cube, you should definitely buy this one. It's a bit loud, as you can hear, but I must say I'm really impressed with how it performs. I mean, considering its price, it's really cheap. So yeah, I would recommend this cube for people who just started on 7x7 and you don't have, or if you don't have a lot of money, if you just want to buy a cheap cube to play with, this is definitely good. One thing I have to add is that it's quite smaller. As you can see, it's about 2 millimeters smaller than the normal 7x7s, but you hardly notice it. In the beginning I noticed it immediately, but after a while you really forget about the size. So overall, this is a good cube. If you want a cheap budget cube, this is the cube to go. The next cube is the Moyu Aoshi Gtsm 6x6. So I'm really excited for this cube. The packaging is quite creative with the magnet here. And here we have some magnets here, of course, some extra magnets. Here we have the generic pamphlet that everybody throws away. And here we have 2 cards about people I don't really know. So let's start with the review. My previous main was the QiYi Valk. And this cube was way too tight, and when you loosen it, it just pops like crazy, as you can see there. It's not a bad cube, it's just way too tight and you can't really loosen it up. So the problem I have with this cube is the magnet. You can hardly feel the magnets. You don't even see the magnets. Look at that. See how much it overshoots and undershoots. You really don't see the magnets. The inner layers as well. Usually the inner layers are way stronger than the inner layers, but I feel like the inner layers are basically just as weak as the outer layers. So that's a bit of a down problem, but that's not that big of a deal. Normal corner cutting and reverse corner cutting is decent, I would say. It's about a little bit more than 1 cuboid without letting the cube pop. And reverse corner cutting is also about 1 cuboid, and a little bit more. If you go a little bit more, it locks up, as you can see there. But it's decent. I really say I enjoy this cube. Initially, I actually thought it was alright, but it wasn't great. But after practicing with it for a while, I really started liking it. It's definitely better than the QiYi Valk. I haven't tried many other 6x6s, but this one so far is the best one I've ever tried. This cube does lock up a bit, but once you learn how to turn it, it really goes better. So yeah, this cube, it feels great. This cube feels amazing. So if you want a good 6x6, I would recommend this cube. It is nice. I really enjoy it, but I'm not really the most experienced 6x6 solver. I haven't tried that many 6x6s, but this one I really enjoy. So I would definitely recommend this one as well. Next up is the cube I was the most excited for, the Gan Megaminx. Wow. The case for the Gan Megaminx is gorgeous. I mean, just get it out. It's absolutely stunning, this case. If you can see, yeah. And inside here, you get the normal, you get a card, a bunch of springs, and also a generic pamphlet. So let's just put that aside. And also you get this cube bag. And I really like this cube bag, it's really high quality. The only problem is you can't fit the entire box in. The only way to fit it is by putting the normal Megaminx in, and even then it struggles to go in. But nevertheless, this is a really nice bag. So let's put all these trivial things aside. Okay, I was a bit worried that the cube would grip worse because it doesn't have any ridges. But luckily my suspicions were met with the truth, and it grips just fine and it turns amazingly. this and the cube is different. This cube is definitely my next main. My previous main was the Yushin Little Magic, which was alright. I got good times with it, but this cube is so much better. The feeling is tremendous. I can't describe how amazing this feeling feels. And it feels like a normal Gan cube because it's so smooth. It feels like butter basically when you turn it. It feels so smooth, so amazing. You just want to keep on solving it. Even if you don't get a good time, you just want to keep on solving because it feels so great. And with my first solve with this cube, I missed my PB with 1 second. And my PB was basically so far away from my normal average. So this cube is definitely worth buying. The only problem I have with the cube, and this is the only problem I have with this cube, is the color scheme. I would really like if the grey, the green, and yeah, these two colors, the grey and the green, were a bit darker, and the pink was a bit lighter. But I will get used to it eventually. This is a quite expensive cube, but if you have the money, I would recommend this cube 100%. Let me just show you the interior. It's the normal honeycomb design from Gan, what you would expect. Yeah, a bunch of magnets. So yeah, I think with Gan, my first cube I tried with Gan was the 356X, and I was so impressed with that cube. And this cube has me on the same level of impressed. So really, this cube is amazing. You should definitely buy it. It is so good. Corner cutting is as good as it can be. Just look at that. Even more than 45 it goes. It's just so good. Reverse corner cutting is just as good. So really, if you have the money, buy this cube. If you want to become better in Megaminx, this would definitely help. This is amazing hardware, and I couldn't recommend this anymore. So yeah, if you have the money, buy it. Save the best for last, they say. So I did. The Valk 5. This cube, I can't explain how good this cube is. The packaging for the Valk 5 is exactly the same as the Valk 4, with exactly the same things in this thing. With a towel, with a bunch of cards, with a Mats Valk, with this 4.7 previous world record, and just a bunch of pictures of the card. I don't really know why they do this. Maybe there might be some use for it, I don't know. But yeah, so let's just pack these things away. And let's just start with the cube. As you can see, the packaging, amazing. So, let's start with the first thing about this cube. The 3x3 stage is amazing. I've never felt a 5x5 cube with this amazing 3x3 stage. It basically feels like a normal 3x3. And so, really, when you get down to 3x3 stage, you forget that you're using a 5x5, and it feels like you're using a 3x3. So really, the 3x3 stage is, I can't commend it enough. And the inner layers are just as good. Edge parity feels effortless when you turn it. It's just so good. I'm also not that experienced with 5x5, but I know from experience this cube is amazing. I mean, it must be amazing since Max Park already broke the single world record as well as the average world record, which is mental. So I really like the magnets as well. You can really feel it much better than the Valk 4x4, the Aoshi 6x6. So the outer layers are really good. If you can see it, it clicks amazingly. As well as the inner layers. The inner layers are a bit stronger, which I quite like, and it's the perfect tension for me. It was a bit sticky on the outside, but that's not really a problem. You can just clean it up and get over with. Overall, a perfect cube in my opinion. I really can't say anything bad about this cube. I would 100% recommend this cube for beginners, intermediate, advanced, it doesn't matter. This cube is amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing. I will do a more in-depth review of these 4 cubes, not this one because there's not much to say about this one, but I will do a much more in-depth review of each of these cubes. Probably gonna do like two parts, with one reviewing these, one reviewing these two and one reviewing these two. I'll most likely do something like that because this unboxing wasn't really a review. I just said the generic basic things about it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like and subscribe, and peace.